everyone. This is not let them vote. Anyway, we're seeing the effects of us not participating. We're seeing the effects of us not caring. We're seeing the effects of us not what they call it, not participating. And it will always affect us as we've chosen to face it. So as long as we do not become part of political parties, we will not be able to dictate the kind of candidates that emerge.
So please, thank you. In my mind, I'm thinking louder, please, louder for those in the back that can't hear you. So please, join a party. Simple and short.
So my question goes there's political participation, basically, and we understand now that it transcends beyond the PVC, basically. So how does it transcend beyond the PVC? You being a voter, being an electorate, being somebody who is interested in voting, but you feel, oh, it might not count, basically. And if you vote, if you have your PVC and you vote, it doesn't, you are not able to, what's the word?
That's the myth. So the idea that if I vote, my vote doesn't count, so what's the point?
Can I dispel that? Okay, so I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Within the political sector, the elephant parties, they tell you another myth: you vote for a small party, it's a waste of your vote.
Yeah.
If it's a waste, then why do they try ballot box snatching and bribing for votes on election day? It means your vote counts. Yeah. And if you study the issues we've had with collation in results, collation of results with INEC, the only rigging can only occur when you didn't go to the polling unit. So let me explain. You do not carry a PVC there. Nigeria is aware that PVC exists, but you didn't come out to vote. That is when you have decided to become the Isaac of elections. You will be offered for slaughter because it is your PVC that will be used to commit or perpetrate any misnomer. This is not punching INEC's work, but this is looking at situations we've seen occur in Nigeria. So you have this situation where everybody seems to think that, our PVC, this is all it can do. It's not even going to count. It's not going to work. If it didn't matter, people will not be giving money on election day so that you sway this way. Why would they do that if they already had it figured out?
So how does it relate to governance, political participation and governance?
Okay, so we're going to separate, for the purpose of this conversation, we're going to separate the two. Politics is the vehicle to elected office. Governance is deliverance of service to the electorate. Two separate things. So politics, of course, talks about all the routes which you use to get to where you're going. And then governance is, okay, we're in office. This is what we're like. I'll give you an example. We talk about state police. Healthy conversation. I don't want to hit that topic, but I want to point out something. Governors talk about state police. I need to go back to and mention this Executive Order 10 of 2020 by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria mandates local governments legislature to be autonomous. Governors want state police, but has anybody ever asked the question? Local governments under them are not autonomous yet. You grant state governors that power. With the existing power, they already occur. This is not to say that we've not seen what they've done with local government elections that has been handed to them, that is no more conducted federally. I don't think you see another party winning apart from the party of the serving governor, or the incumbent governor, sorry.
Yes.
You want to hand them over state police without autonomy of the LG. I didn't say anything, I was just
let's not detract further into governance. Let's come back to politics. So I like when you were talking about the rigging of elections and how your absence gives your PVC. So I want to tie that into, again, I think the things that I'm focusing on, I'm not even sure if they're quite myths, but you're the expert, so you can tell me whether it is or not.
The expert,
yeah, on this table today, yes, you are. But the idea for me is electronic voting. So everybody's shouting, we should, we shouldn't. And I'm thinking the American institutions, they haven't, but we say we want to, we can, we cannot. Please, does it help the rigging or not? Does it fix the problem?
I'm beginning to think you want to put me in trouble.
No, see, when you see somebody that can answer the questions that are burning for you, and I'm sure the Nigerian populace have this, because the thing about it is, right, politics is something that typically I want to stay away from. Yeah. But you realize, like you said, it's the vehicle to getting the right kind of governance for the electorate. Yeah. So you can't ignore it, because you can't say, I'm only interested at when you get to point Z. I've got to figure out how to start from point A. So I'm asking these questions as a innocent, I just want to know bystander. So is it a solution, or is it another smoke and mirror? Thank you.
Okay, I'll put this to you and everybody that brings up this conversation. INEC has done a fine job ensuring that the continuous voter registration has gone online. How many Nigerians are registered?
Okay.
We're expecting an uproar of people registering. If you notice, a lot of people are even campaigning for people to register. What do you think will happen when they turn into election? I didn't say anything. I think you have your answer.
So all I'm going to say is, I mean, see, the answer you give, I would have said it, when you say it, then I'm like, okay, so you were thinking in the right way. Because in my mind, I used to think, if you still need security guard to use ATM, it would be interesting. Day, I come in peace. But these are some of the questions I think that is important, because education is understanding this thing, this game. One of the other, again, this is not a myth. I keep going off topic. You need to do better today. Young people and politics. It is the idea that I saw a meme the other day, and I'm not even sure, I think it might have been you that posted it, that said politicians never retire. That they just keep going till,
Wait, but you know why I would like to address this? I think we've just looked at politicians as a special set of people. Let me tell you the truth, they are not. Back to, and this is no offense to them. Yeah. So you have people in journalism, you have people in medicine, you have people in veterinary medicine, you have dentists, you have lawyers. They remain within the system. It's just the way politics is. Politics is not any different. The truth about politics is we all should be politically conscious, because whether you like it or not, if you don't engage politics, politics will engage you. It's not a choice. So it's either you choose to engage it back to a particular level and try to get things done, or nothing will happen. So what are you expecting? A politician to retire? Across the world, no politician actually retires. What happens is they stop following elected offices. In Africa, we found out that we have to carry the nation's cup up because the president cannot come down. No offense, but that's how we look at it.
So they will keep following elected office in Africa, where the young ones don't have any room to go.
No. Wait, I need to say before nobody held the young ones apart from the young ones.
Yes.
Okay.
They need to wake up to that.
Okay, we'll come back to that, but we really want to hear what you have to say. So please remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0818-038-4663, or tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1. I'm sure that our viewers have a lot to say. So let's come back to these young people.
I have a question to you.
Okay, let me before I jump into the young people, go ahead, please.
What about the concept of godfatherism? Is it a myth, especially in Nigeria?
If you graduate from law school, you're going to take a mentor as a son. If you go into medicine, you're going to take a mentor as a consultant. The difference is a good mentor, just like any other sphere, a good mentor would lead you forward to and even want you to become better than himself.
Okay.
Over 75% of our mentors in politics do not want you to even cross where they've been to. So it's kind of like, it looks like politics is bad. You have them in all spheres of work. So I think because we've had politicians that and it's because I think why it's like that in Nigeria is because for us, our politics has monetary gain. Our senators, our legislature earns more than the U.S. senator earns like.
So let me put it this way. Let me just jump in and
Yeah.
say this there, maybe to define it. I think it's potato, right? You say mentor in the positive. She says godfather in the negative. So I think for me, the myth there, or what we're trying to dispel there is it possible to do it without a godfather? I think that's what she's trying to say.
Okay. You would always have a godfather in politics.
Okay.
You would always
So
have.
the short answer is no.
The short answer is no. But the clearer answer is who your godfathers are. So for me, while I was in politics, my godfathers were the Constitution and, of course, the next generation. If those are your godfathers, then you have your right head on and you know where you're headed. But if your godfathers are now some people that are maybe running for president and you're following them out, you are not saying it's bad, but you will always be limited to that person's ambition. And the moment you can move forward, if it affects that person's ambition, you're set back. That's why you find a lot of people that have been, I know a lot of people that have been essays from when I was an essay to a minister, and a PA to a minister, sorry. When I was a PA to a minister till now, it's like a job description. They're just changing. And it's because they never had the heart to kind of go out of their way. Yeah, they'll call Kunde crazy because he maybe went out of his own reach. But it separated me from them. I will never be lumped in that thing, and they will continue doing their PA and essay for a while.
So I will, as we're running out of time, so I think the last thing I would say is a lot of young people today want to run. They are fighting for a place at the table. We understand that we're no longer waiting. It's not the youth, the children are the leaders of tomorrow. Tomorrow is today. So what is the one thing that, or the one final myth you can dispel that particularly relates to young people getting into governance? I think that would be a great way to close the show.
I think the first thing we need to understand in Nigeria is that good governance is no function of age or gender. That's the first thing, or tribe. So for you to want to be a young candidate and want to participate, you have to be able to bring to bear what is needed on the table. I find people wanting to run for legislative office and quoting executive stuff. What's the difference with you? I think the other day I said something, and I believe it a lot. The only difference between old and young, most of the young politicians, is that some can use Instagram Live. There's no difference. Because they don't bring anything to the table. You keep saying food, roads. Well, come on. It's 21st century.
It's stomach infrastructure. You're telling the people what they want to hear without original thoughts
The
behind
office
it.
you're running for is based on legislative bills. That's why, I'll give you another, that's why a lot of us in Nigeria right now are saying the president should assent to the bill, the president should assent to the bill. Did you seem to mistakenly forget that the National Assembly has veto power over the president? And we have all gone into that WhatsApp group and followed. Usual suspects.
Another myth that has been stylishly debunked as we come to the end of the show. But I think it's been a fantastic conversation. I've learned a thing or two. I certainly hope that our viewers have.
Yeah.
We did not shake any tables. We did not get you into trouble. Disclaimer, because... And yes, we would like to have you back on the show. So we will see you soon. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Issy. And thank you to all of you for staying with us and for watching the show. So before we go, please ensure you follow us on Instagram. Our handle is @WasteShowAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagements. As you see, we are committed to educating you, if nothing else, but about the game of chess called politics. So please like, please share, invite your friends and family to watch the show. And if you missed today's quote, here it is again. When truths are frozen, beliefs are born. Beliefs are not the same as truths, just like a picture of a man is not the same as the man himself. Hence, belief does not represent reality, which is complex and ever-changing like a living being. Mr. Singh has a lot to say. I think I totally agree. So see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Bye-bye.
wait for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Booking November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on PlusTvAfrica.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the barbing, I pay my rent. On the barbing, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and the heat of the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
I will do everything to take Lagos out of the national grid.
Now, TW Conversations you dey watch now, and we dey inside this lounge with the usual suspects, minus one or two people. We get Mrs. I, Ebu Feludu, Sauda Salami, and